Yeah. Hey.
Perfect.
We in the motherfucking house. What's good, Digger?
It's my birthday. Still. It's my birthday. Chill. Hey. All right. Let me get my angles together. Here we go.
D Terry.
Make sure the
last rider. What's good, my people? All right. We in the place to be.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everybody is wishing Digger a happy birthday. Welcome back to Yanadameen Godcast. I am Lord Jamal.
And I'm Digger.
Godfrey should be here in a minute. Godfrey's on the road. Of course, Godfrey's always moving about. He's the man on town. He's in Toledo, Ohio right now, doing a show. But he is going to grace us with his presence. Thank you, Finesse the Plug. Appreciate you. I'm not even going to assume what gender you are. You could be a female, Finesse the Plug, right? Finesse the Plug, that's like a unisex name, huh? What do you think? Digger, I'm asking you a question. Can you hear me?
Huh? I'm sorry. I was making sure that my everything was, aligned.
So somebody named Finesse the Plug just donated $4.99, right? So I said, Finesse the Plug, I'm not even going to assume if that's a male or a female. That could go either way, right? Like with that kind of name, Finesse the Plug.
Yeah, the plug is giving me male. Finesse spelled with a PH is giving me female, but I don't want to assume. So thank you, Finesse.
Yes, thank you. I'm just saying I'm saying a plug. I'm trying to be progressive. I'm just saying the plug could be a female plug. There's female plugs out there.
That's true, because I'm damn sure the plug.
Wasn't Griselda a plug?
Yep.
Wasn't she the plug? She was the plug.
I'm a whole ass plug.
You a plug?
Out here in these female rap streets, so for sure.
That's what's up. Hang on, let's do the Digger
Thank you,
cam
guys. Hang on. Hi.
The Digger cam.
Thank you. I had to do a homegrown face today. What are the odds of me sharing a birthday with my makeup artist? I'm like, we're doing we're doing a show today. She's like, no, bitch, it's my birthday. I did you yesterday. Goodbye, bitch.
Wow.
So there I was in the mirror, like,
Abandoned you on her birthday.
Yeah. She did cater to me on her birthday.
She abandoned you on y'all birthday.
She like, now you're not getting me the whole weekend, bitch.
Wow.
Yeah, I was on my own today. So y'all get me all natural today.
There you go. She said all natural. You wake up like that, right, Digger?
Huh?
I said you just wake up like that, right?
Yes. I woke up like this. I woke up like this.
Every day.
That's right.
Hang on, let me see how the brother's looking. How you looking, my brother? So, y'all might have seen the title. We have a I don't want to call him film director extraordinaire. Okay, someone who put together a very high level documentary dealing with economics, especially as it pertains to us as original people and how our blueprint basically for economics that we laid thousands of years ago, you know, is basically being used today. And we can use it ourselves because others are using what we've created.
A must watch.
A must watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud to say I'm in the film. Just briefly. But you know, people like Dr. Leonard Jeffries is in the film. Uh, Professor Smalls. The brother's going to tell you about all the people.
It's pretty lengthy too. I want to say it's between 3 and 4 hours, and I must say I enjoyed every minute of it. I was like, keep going, like don't stop. I want to learn more.
Was it that long? I'm not sure. Well, y'all definitely there's a link right now that y'all can click if you want to attend a virtual screening. That's going to be happening on December 26th. We're going to talk about that as well. Yeah, but right now we still waiting for our boy Godfrey. So what'd you do on your actual born day, Digger?
On my actual born day, I got all dolled up and I just basically clowned around on IG. I was in here with Alexa and I just had her like playing different music and doing stuff. And I'm not talking to you. Yeah, and so there was one point where like I told her to play some Rod Digger music and she threw on Kid Rock and oh my god, I was in here cussing her out. I was sipping on my drink. It was funny. I actually I had a ball. I just was on IG for like an hour, just talking to people, just celebrating. Happy to reach another birthday. We lost so many people this year, and I'm just I'm grateful. I'm blessed.
Now, from what I
Then I went to Red
understand,
Lobster. Then I went to
you went
Red
to Red.
Lobster.
You went to no. You gotta say Red Lobsters with an S on it.
Then I
Red Lobster.
then I
That's how
went to
black
Red
people.
Lobsters. Then I went to
There
Red
you go.
Lobsters
You had
because
some
who am
cheddar.
I? Yes, who am
Yeah.
I to break birthday tradition? Cheesy
Let me
biscuits.
guess. Let me guess. If they
What?
had it, you got you some lobster mac and cheese. If they had it.
You know what? I did see it on the menu, but I didn't get that. My go-to dish now is lobster lover's dream. So it's like lobster Alfredo. It's like chumps. It's like lump lobster meat in the Alfredo with the noodles, and then two lobster tails on the side. Get the main lobster tail and the rock lobster tail. So that's like my Red Lobster go-to now, and a nice fresh Caesar salad. And I had some. They did
So
some
it's like a giant roach.
just a
Um
just a just
with,
a big
with a
old.
roach's tail and another kind of roach tail on it. That's what you did. Yeah. Yeah. That's what you like. That's your go-to with Alfredo sauce on the roach meat. That's what you like. I'm just
If that's what you want to call it, hey,
I mean,
crustaceans for me, baby.
you know that the shell of a cockroach is and the shell of a shrimp is the same, right? Is basically.
That's the best tasting motherfucking la cucaracha a bitch ever had. God damn it. Who am I to break tradition? God damn it. Roaches are
Hey,
in tradition, right? Right? That's what it. No. But no, seriously. I love my I love lobster. Hey, it could be worse, man. I could have been scarfing down some dead carcass. Okay, I decided to go with the sea roaches.
You could have been eating the swine. So yes, it is. There is degrees to this shit. It could have been worse, but we're trying to get you. You know what I mean? On the other side, digga, past fucking with sea roaches and shit like that. You know,
I'm cool with my shellfish. I'll baby steps, baby steps.
Roaches for all my people. Yes, we're going to Red Lobsters, everybody.
Yeah.
Do I have to call this boy?
What did I do today? Then today I went
surprise, right? Just now.
I said again.
Didn't you just have a super surprise today from some of your loved ones?
Oh yes, I did. Gang just pulled up to the door. Oh, here she comes. Here she comes. Here she comes. Happy birthday! We pulled up all the way from Jersey. Yes, we did for the queen. Hey. Yes. Our long lost guest co-host Foxy Alice pulled up.
Right. That's what's up.
And she tricked me too. You know what? She hit me yesterday. Check it out. She hit me yesterday and asked me for the address. And I was like, I gave her the address. I'm like, this bitch about to surprise me. She about to pull up and surprise me in my new digs, right? So then I get flowers, and I'm like, oh, that's what she wanted my address for? Okay. Completely threw me off the scent, yo. Yeah, she caught that.
Nice.
Happy birthday! Yes, shouts out Foxy Alex in the house. Shouts out Trouble T Boy in the house. Yeah, they did that.
Wait, they drove down?
Yep.
Did they? Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's what's up.
Yep.
Hang on. Talk to the people for a minute. I'll be right back. I wanna make a call real quick. See what this guy.
Wait, okay, so hold on, because I can't see the comments. Let me see if I can get to the comments. I don't know. Well, today I'm actually broadcasting from the phone, so I don't know if is it a different layout. I don't think I can see the comments.
Here he is. Here's the brother. Woo! Oh, I know, man. Wife. What's up, dude?
Okay. Oh yeah, I can communicate. Okay. Oh yep, I need your phone.
You hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Can you
now
hear
it's
us?
Clear. Every time I've been coming on, you guys' voices are broken up like, and I don't know why it's doing it on my side. I don't know. They said it has a bug in it. Someone said it has a bug in it. Go ahead.
Maybe your phone is shitty.
No, because it's the iPhone 11.
Oh, you won iPhone ahead of me, I think.
Yeah, sure. They got the 12 out, but I had the 11 a few months ago when I was in LA. So it's a good one. It's nice now. Everything is. I'm in Ohio, in Perrysburg, outside of Toledo, Bumblefuck. Hi, digga.
Hi. Okay, I'm sorry. Now I'm looking at me on the. I'm trying to because I have to look at the comments on here. I know I'm not going to do that.
Please. It doesn't look good. Down. And
okay, yes, I'm sorry. I'm looking.
Hey,
everybody. Hey, everybody.
So free God.
What?
Godfrey.
Yeah.
You are in Toledo, you said, yes?
Outside it's the Toledo. I'm doing the Toledo Funny Bone, and there's a little town called Perrysburg, and that's where it is. They like to say Toledo. It's a better marketing strategy than Perrysburg Funny Bone.
You are in your hotel room now, yes?
Yes.
Okay. That bed looks like you just went for a roll in the hay. Just
no roll in the hay this time.
The date continues.
Nobody.
Hey, how's our friend from last week?
Hey, y'all fucked it up with me. Y'all made me have to leave the club early. Thanks, guys.
What?
That's
how was my
your
friend?
Mind.
My
yeah, how was date night the other
she
night?
was cool.
Date night.
That was just it. After that, she went home. So that was cool. She's cool people. She's from Jersey. She lives in Jersey. Sorry. She lives in Jersey.
I thought
I'm saying don't stop. I'm about to say don't confuse lives in Jersey and from Jersey.
She's from New York. She's from New York.
Nah, she was cool.
The was gonna seal the deal. I
He
thought the lamb pizza was.
Sounds very uneventful. Right. Like, yeah, she was cool. We ate some pizza and went home.
No. Because the city is whack, you know, everything's shut down.
Listen, we have our guest. We have our guest in the house. Thank you for joining us, sir. We have our guest in the house, Taaqiy Grant. We're about to bring him on, but I think first I'd like to play the trailer to the film for all the people. Now, everybody in the house, make sure you click the like button. Y'all know the routine. I know y'all was checking out Too Short and E. Fonzarelli and all of that, but you know, now it's time to come learn.
Tell him where to go. Tell him where to go.
You and that monkey. You know, but now it's time to focus. It's time to get on something that can really, you know what I mean, add on to the quality of your life.
Yes, Jamar loves the scheduled podcast during verses, and this is like the fourth verses you've like.
Wow.
We're potting through. I don't understand. I don't understand.
We're not worried about all that pop culture shit. This is, you know what I mean? This is all that B1
I don't understand a rapper
here.
that hates rap stuff. I don't understand. I don't understand.
You're not on the same schedule as everybody else. Like, you know what I mean? We on B1 schedule over here. And sometimes that you know, that worldly 85 shit just overlaps over the shit that we doing. But this is definitely more important. This is definitely
the
more
rapper that
important
hates rap. I can dig it. I feel you, brother. The rapper that hates rap. I'm just messing with you. I just playing. I'm here with you, man.
We're gonna play the trailer, and then we're gonna bring on the director of the film, HAPI, Taaqiy Grant. All right, so let's do that. Boom, bam, boom, and here we go.
HAPI is the name of the water which gives life. It is a principle of life-giving.
The Nile was the source. The Nile. The Nile was the life for the ancient Egyptian. The Nile was sacred and the most important element for the unification of the two lands, Upper and Lower Egypt.
In our effort to understand or to search the role of economics played in the development of civilization, we came here to modern-day El Kab, ancient Nekheb. And we're here at a tomb by a man known as Subik Nak.
Initially, I mean, people traded, and they traded goods and services. And when they didn't have necessarily the things that they wanted to trade, they developed a currency, cowrie shells on the African continent, other tokens.
Economics first started with the relationship between people.
West Africa does have a direct link to the Happy Valley. And we know that linguistically, first of all, starting with the work of Dr. Diop, we see that many West African languages are related to Medu Necher.
We are one family. We are one people. We go forward together as one people. We are each other's strength. We are each other's hope. We have no other hope nor strength outside of Almighty God and ourselves. So when we look around at each other, we should see ourselves in the faces of each other.
right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Peace to the gods, peace to the goddess.
Yeah.
The director of the film HAPI. How are you, my brother?
I'm doing well. Peace, y'all. Peace to everyone. Happy birthday, Rod nigga.
Peace.
Peace.
Hotep.
Peace. Hotep.
I'm loving that that sarcophagus in the background.
Yeah, that was actually a gift, from my mother. She gave it to me.
Wow.
Traveling back and forth. A lot of people think it's actually from Egypt because I go to the Nile frequently. But I said, nah, that was actually a gift. She got that from, I guess, a novelty catalog. But it fits. It does. It
right.
Fits. Definitely fits.
Well, first of all, let me say congratulations on an excellent job. The undertaking that I'm sure it took to put this together had to be huge in its scope, and you put this together masterfully, I must say. As somebody who is a frequent watcher of documentaries, I was particularly impressed with this particular documentary as far as the editing, the research, the the travel that went all into this. So I just want to congratulate you on just a wonderful undertaking.
I can't take credit for it because it was definitely a collaborative effort. I'm not an editor, so definitely the director of photography, Tahuti Films, Robbie Gay, did a tremendous job in doing the editing work. Outside of that, we work within a collective environment.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. No.
One thing Dr. J always talks about is the 3 C's. Collective, communal, cooperative development is something that Africans have, as opposed to the 3 Ds: death, destruction, domination, that Europeans have. So working in the concept of the 3 C's, it was very easy to develop a film like HAPI because, the people who were the foundation or the anchors of the film were people who were like extended family, the Professor Smalls, the Infodici, Dr. Leonard Jeffries. And we kind of built out from that. And this is actually our 3rd film. The first one we did was back in 2007, and that was Nubia, the Untold Story. I had the opportunity to go to Sudan a couple times. And one thing I realized is that people just don't know a damn thing about it. So we did that piece.
Nubia.
Yeah.
Untold Story. Let's talk about Nubia for a minute. Brand Nubian.
Yeah. So
what made you there? What made you start there?
The thing with Nubia is, one thing you realize is that let's start here. There's twice as many pyramids in Sudan that there is in Egypt, but no one knows anything about it. So that's number 1 problem. Number 2 problem, the way they take Kemet out of Africa and place Egypt in the Middle East is by showing some type of division between, Kush and Kemet, or however you want to say it, Kush and Nubia, Kemet and Nubia, so forth. That's the way they do it. The narrative is wrong, in terms of who these people were. They were the same people in the sense they spoke maybe similar languages. They were different tribes that came together, you know what I'm saying? And at times, they had wars, but it's not the narrative the Europeans tell. So the Europeans phrase this narrative, you see a dark-skinned, complected, highly melanated people and some off-melanated group of people further to the north, or the Egyptian group. So once you dive deep into that, you realize people were one people. They shared commonalities. And this is where HAPI really started to develop, because HAPI really centers on understanding the relationship between the kingdoms of the Nile. So we kind of use that as a starting point. We realized we had a bigger scope there in terms of just talking about economics on a global level. But just talking about the relationship between the kingdoms of the Nile really unravels the mystery that the Europeans are kind of shrouding over our heads. Because once we reestablish the fact that Kemet is in Africa, all the other bullshit kind of goes out of the window. So in 2003 and 4, I had the opportunity to go to the Sudan, extensively northern Sudan, essentially from Khartoum north up to what they call Dongola, which is almost on the border between Egypt and Sudan. And going to all the major sites there, major pyramid sites, Meroe, Nori, Koru.
Now, hang on. Let's back up a little bit. How did you even get into this? What made you want to go to the Sudan? Like, nobody just picks up and goes to the Sudan. How did you get into, you know, this lane? You know what I mean? This interest.
Well, shit, it started from a young child. You know what I mean? Started from the time I got knowledge of self, which is about 14 years old.
And knowledge of self, how? What kind of knowledge of self? What are we talking about here?
Well, yeah, I started off as an answer.
Okay.
Matter of fact, let me take a step back. My stepfather was Nation Islam, so the books was always in the house. Books like Destruction of Black Civilization, which I always point to as the turning point. You know, Stolen Legacy. Those books were always there as a child. So looking at the covers, I started picking them up, started reading them in junior high school. Then that went to another level. That made my Mr. Dr. York and everything, man. So I was doing that for a while. That came out of that, I came kind of back to where I was before in terms of just African nationalism, Black nationalism. And 1999.
They introduced me to the word Nubian, by the way. That's kind of where
Dr. York.
Reading those Dr. York books. That's where the term Nubian, I kind of was like, yeah, that's a fly name for an African, and these people don't want to be called African, so maybe I could trick them into being called African by calling them a Nubian. You know what I mean?
We were actually the Nubian Islamic Hebrews. So for me, that was my introduction also. You know what I'm saying? So that nerd Nubia always kind of stuck. It was always there. And it was something, you know, he claimed the lineage from, you know, the Sudan and things like that. So there was some familiarity from that period, you know what I'm saying, in terms of what we were doing. But it really started when I started traveling to Kemet. I started doing that in 1999. And the first time I went, I didn't see many non-indigenous Black people. So I realized that Black people just weren't, maybe wanted to wear, or two, it was kind of difficult for them to go. So what I started doing was taking people on trips, annual trips. And generally we did the Black History Month trips to the Nile, you know, the pilgrimages. And as we started going, I started developing relationships with people. And I was like, damn, I really want to see the other part of the civilization they don't tell us about. Going further up into the Nile, going further south. And, you know, people I met there, they was like, yeah, we can go, but it was some difficulties, you know? So it was really interesting, just the process and it took to actually get there, because I went to the embassy. Embassy used to be on 2nd Avenue, right before 42nd Street here in New York. And I was like, yeah, I want to get a visa. They laughed at me. It's like, we don't give visas to Americans, especially not individuals. So after a while, you know, they got to know me, and they was like, you know what, you're cool. We wanna, you know, get that visa for you. So we went. I got an opportunity to go, and I was like, damn, nobody know anything about this shit. So we put the first documentary together, Nubian Untold Story. And on the heels of that, we did another one called The Tekken, which is uncovering the influence of ancient Egypt.
And the Tekken, for those that don't know, are what you would call an obelisk. But the Tekken is the actual, you know, the original name for it.
Right. So, and even that, so we look at, say, uncovering the influence of ancient Egypt. Washington, D.C. is a great example at uncovering.
Your camera's getting a little glitchy.
The audio, a little choppy.
And your picture as well. Are you on your phone right now?
Nah, I'm not on my phone.
You're on a computer? Is it? Yeah. It's hardwired or is it Wi-Fi? I don't know.
No, it's hardwired. It's definitely hardwired.
You're looking a little blurry.
Looking a little blurry.
Yeah.
I can actually, maybe I can try the phone. I can come in, come back if that's an issue.
I just, you know, I want you to look as best as you could. And
definitely. Definitely want to look, you know, maybe try to come out, come back in and see if that helps out.
You might want to try the phone real quick.
Okay.
It's a little, yeah. A little disconcerting the way it's looking.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you just tuning in, we have the pleasure of interviewing Mr. Taaqiy Grant.
That's right.
Director of the documentary HAPI, HAPI. Am I
you are correct.
Spelling that right? Okay.
Correct. And HAPI is the the original name of the Nile River, HAPI River. But you drinking some naked juice there, boy.
Naked juice.
I would love to. I would love to take one of my BFFs actually just took a trip to Egypt. I would love to take one of the trips. He said he takes groups. I would love to take that trip. I haven't traveled really like all year for vacation purposes. I would love to make that make that a educational trip for my vacation. I'm always down for those.
Well, when the gentleman comes back, could please feel free to jump in and with some questions, guys.
No, absolutely.
He's back. Let's see. Oh, you look much more crispy right now, brother.
Oh yeah,
much more crispy. Oh, but no, you got
to turn your phone back
sideways.
Yeah, you were good money. There you go.
There you go. That's much better.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Your head's cut off a little though. Your head is cut off.
Okay, there we go.
I got it. He just getting set up. He's straight. There we go.
Good now.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
So let us continue.
Actually, I was about to say, actually, may want to just rewind a little bit now that we've got you crystal clear and just kind of, fast track what got you to wanting to take these trips to the Nile.
Okay, just reading the books. It started with like I said, Destruction of Black Civilization, and that's a book I remember reading. I was in the 9th grade, and when I read that book gave me something I didn't have previous, and that was Black heroes. And as I discovered, because prior to that was Luke Skywalker, Superman. I was keeping it real. Everyone who did not look like us was one of my heroes. But after I read that book, I went to school the next day, and I was like, yo, these are the people I emulated myself after. And it was the heroes, the Kefras, the Menace, the Calidoses, all the freedom fighters, those people who were, vanguards of the culture. And I fell in love with that aspect, and that wanted me to learn more and know more about who and what we are. So as that developed, the interest for the now began to kind of develop also. I was like, damn, this pyramids, how did it happen? How did it get there? All these things. I said, at some point in my life, I have to go. And in 1999, that was the first time I went. And after going there, I was like, damn, ain't none of us, any non-indigenous blacks, just going on pilgrimages. I don't like to call them visitors. I don't consider us as tourists. Because we go to Africa, we're going to Africa as a pilgrimage.
Right.
And so I was like, you know what? Maybe we should introduce the idea or the notion to Black people, particularly African Americans, that this is something they need to see because it can actually literally change your life. And several trips, people have always told me like, yo, damn, this trip has actually changed my life. So I started to develop group trips. And in those group trips, we would do the pilgrimages, to the Nile annually, generally do Black History during February, Black History Month. It's actually the best time to go because the weather is ideal.
On average, how much does a trip like that cost on average?
It's how you want to do it. If you want to do
like 3 bands.
Yeah, about that. That. And back then it was like under 2,000. But throughout the years, last 20 years, it's going up. It's about $3,000.
Right.
And you can see most of the most important sites, iconic sites. But if you really want to do it, you got to kind of go outside because what they've done in Egypt, they've commercialized it, and all of the main sites that they kind of point you towards. A lot of it's not really
where you want to go.
Right. So if you really want to do it, you got to be kind of prepared to do some long excursions out into obscure places, things like that. You know what I mean? Then you'll really start to see.
It's not the most comfortable.
Exactly.
I have a girlfriend that just did it, and she said, there were the routes that I guess the tour guides had set up, and they weren't happy with that because they wanted to see the real stuff, the indigenous stuff, and it was it was like, okay, you're on your own with that, and they had to they kind of had to throw their sleeves up and go for it. But no, she loved it. I said I wanted to do something like that. So at some point, I would love to connect with you and figure out how I can, be a part of the next trip.
Shit, we might have to do the Godcast from a fucking pyramid in Egypt.
Hey,
Yeah, Giza.
What's up?
You can't pull cameras out though in the pyramids. Yeah. I heard about those.
Oh, word.
Nah, so Jay, you was
nah, fuck that. He had cameras up inside of a pyramid. What you talking about?
No, well, what's the?
We're gonna do one inside of Khafra's tomb. God damn it.
No, okay. So can you elaborate a little bit? Like, I guess are there certain places where it's like, do not pull out the camera? It's sacrilegious.
So it's not anything to do with like sacrilege and anything like that. The cameras, and it's particularly your photo cameras with a flash on it, because the flash does something to the artwork. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like the direct sunlight on it. So that's where right. So that's where they get a little like, no flash photos. But if you have a video camera, in most cases you can do your little video camera and stuff like that. And they'll charge you a little extra fee for your video camera. You know what I'm saying? But that's just about it. Most flash photos is a good outside. You got your camera, you can take as many flash pictures as you want. But if you're inside of a tomb, particularly a tomb like the Valley of the Kings or someplace like where there's a lot of the artwork is still intact, that's when they be like, no flash photos. You know what I mean? Certain places that you go to, you can still see the actual color. And it's interesting, these are Africans, because you see the exterior of the monuments and you'd be like, damn, it's kind of beige, has like the stone, the texture of the stone. You'd be like, that's how they were. Black people didn't leave nothing like that. Everything was colored in.
Right.
Even the pyramids themselves was sheathed in white plaster.
Motherfucker, we black.
Right. Even the pyramid itself was white plaster. It's not white plaster, white limestone. All the way down, all sides, all four sides. You know what I'm saying? With a gold, not a gold, an electrum. Gold and silver capstone on it. Pyramid. So it's something like like damn, only white people do shit like this. We put the flavor in it. You know what I mean? So ancient Kemet had tremendous flavor. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things we wanted to show people, and that's what we told people in HAPI, was that even though they tried to hide and mislead us, we're going to show you stuff right in your face. It's like, yo, these are some black people that did this shit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't anybody else. They're going to try to confuse you and say other things, but these were black people who established a civilization and who built it. And one of the important parts of the film was when we talk about the confluence between other African civilizations. You know what I mean? Not just the kingdoms of the Nile, but, just how they mix with, how is the Nile connected to Yoruba? How is the Nile connected to Wolof? So we showed that linguistically in the film. You know what I'm saying? We used the Uncan and the Quaba to show it like, yo, these are two similar, objects in their respect and also in their philosophy. So when you start to put language, culture, ethnicity, and all these things in, you're like, damn, people from East Africa and West Africa essentially one and the same people. You know what I mean? So you start to develop a sense that, the African people were moving back and forth from one side of the continent to the other. You know what I mean?
And
so
maybe not just one side of the continent, but one side of the world.
Absolutely.
Evidence that we was moving around the world, not just in that area, but
absolutely. Absolutely. So, HAPI was a must. Like I said, after we did the Tekken, I kind of took a break for a while. About over 10 years between the Tekken and the HAPI. I was looking to a wholly different lane, and people was like, yo, Todd, let's do another joint. And I was like, nah, I'm good. But man, Rock kept saying, yo, Todd, let's do this joint. And I was like, nah, I had some other things I was working on. Eventually, I was like, you know what? If we're going to do something, let's do something that's going to have some real impact. Something that can have that can change. Not just informational, but something that's like, yo, this shit right here, we can really get behind. So when the notion of economics came up, I was like, damn, we can really tie in economics with everything else we've already been talking about. Because there's nothing we do in this life that don't have somehow, that's connected. That's not connected to economics. Everything we do is connected to economics. You know what I mean? So HAPI made sense. It did. It made sense. Our relationships, our lives, our work, everything we do somehow deals with economics, whether it's an ecosystem, ecology, everything we do. The Nile civilization itself was established off ecology. People were searching for the ecology. To understand who we are today, we need to understand our ecology and understand how we can master that in terms to improve our economic standing. Everything is economics.
Well, let's talk about the economics of the film. How did you raise money to even start filming, to get equipment, to be able to travel from here to all the different places, including Egypt, which we said was at least 3 bands per person, right? So now you're bringing a few people over there, right? Cameras and all of that type of shit. So twice. So how do we fund something like that? If I wanted to do something like that, how do I economically put some shit like that together?
See, for you it'd be easy because you could probably do a Kickstarter or GoFundMe, and people just on the strength of who you are, they'll support the project. We tried that initially. It didn't really work very well. So I had to get kind of creative. Luckily, I had some money. I'm, working, doing things like that. So I had some money to get it started. We did the Indiegogo first. I went to the GoFundMe, and it was kind of slow. Still kind of, people was like, well, it's been so long between the tech and the now.
How much money do you think you had to spend?
I don't even know. I'm still kind of doing the books. Money's still being spent. I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? Money's still being spent on it. Still being tallied up. It's probably gonna be like that for a little while, because it's only been out for about 5 months now. You know what I mean? So we're still in that phase. But what I started to do was, you know what? Let's show them what we had, because we already had a lot of content. We already had a lot of information that we compiled just in our earliest shooting. So we did early screenings of the film, and people came out and they was like, "Oh shit, we like it." They like what they saw. This was back in 2017. We did 3. We did one in Queens, one in Harlem, another one in California. And from that, we got a little buzz. And then from that, investors came in. And that's when it really got kind of started. So we had to get kind of creative and innovative in terms of just bringing awareness to the project. And as we started to develop, bring awareness to the project, people was like, yeah, we like it. We like where it's going. We want to be a part of this. Then more donors came in, investors came in, and it just started rolling from that point.
Yo, Godfrey,
what up?
Any questions?
Yes, sir. I was gonna ask that one guy who was in the documentary, the Egyptian dude, the Arab Egyptian.
Mm-hmm.
The pyramid. The pyramid.
In all of them. Yeah.
And I watched the documentary, and he's like, "You have to understand this." He never said anything about black. Okay, I don't know. So because I've been to Egypt before, I was in Cairo. I did Cairo. I went and I did the whole Egyptian. I saw the Giza, I saw the pyramids and everything.
Lucky you.
I saw.
Nigeria.
I went to Egypt. Story. I went to Egypt for, remember, in 1999 there was the 2000, the whole big. Don't watch out for 2000. Remember that whole scary shit?
Y2K.
Fly 2K. So I went anyway with my friend. I was there for 10 days. Stayed at the Sheraton, which is above HAPI, not the Nile, but HAPI. And I was like, and it was the guy that was taking us around was an Egyptian dude, Arab Egyptian. And then in my head, I'm like, does that guy agree that you filmed? You know him, of course.
No, yes and no. We don't have any personal relationship.
Okay, does he believe that the Egyptians were black, the original?
Let me say this to you.
Yeah.
First thing, we don't ever debate the race of the ancient Egyptians. That's not something we do with Europeans or with so-called Arab Egyptians. We don't do that. You know what I'm saying? They understand. The Europeans know. The Arabs know. The so-called Egyptians, whatever you want to call people, they understand and they know. It's there. It's plain as day. You don't even have to get that deep into understanding the language or the culture. It's a lot of it's on the wall. A lot of it they try to whitewash. These people here, they by and large, are a part of the white supremacy agenda.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as being a part of the white supremacy agenda, they will basically go whatever the narrative is. But here's the thing, and this comes from one of the people in the film and one of my teachers. Those who control the images control the self-esteem, self-respect, and self-development. It could be Zahi Hawass or any of the other people that's in it. They may not agree with everything, but the fact is they know. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's why they do what they do.
Right.
So a lot of times.
And I give you. So I'm sorry. Just one thing. So in the film, we talked about stuff like the pyramids, and if you go to Egypt, most cases the whitewashing starts with just the changing of the names. And instead of calling it the African names, they'll use the Greek names.
Right.
You know, they won't say Khufu. They'll say Cheops or, or Kefren. You know what I'm saying? Or Amenophis. Those are the names they're going to use as opposed to Amenhotep. You know what I'm saying? Once you start to say those names, you can feel it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can Khufu. That ain't no. You know what I'm saying? That's not no Arab or no other mixed race type of cat.
Hell
you
no.
know he's a black dude. And in the film, if you notice, Zahi was using those terms. You're like, you know what I'm saying, Khufu. You know what I'm saying, calling it the real names.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a matter of just understanding what it is. So,
which is why somebody might ask you, why didn't you name it the Nile as opposed to HAPI?
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Because a lot of people don't even know what happy is. They think you mean, you know, hey, I'm joyous.
Right.
Like, oh, we're talking about the original name,
of
the Nile River. So going back and replacing what they're trying to replace with its original term.
Right.
So go ahead. You weren't done.
No, so you know, just to have the understanding of where you want to go. So we, in making the film, I picked out the people in terms of what I wanted them to deliver. And the film, the underlying theme of the film is economics, politics, and culture. Using that systems analysis to dissect history, understand history through economics, its politics, and its culture. So we talked about the pyramids, just understanding what the political or management system it took to develop the pyramids. That's what he comes in at. Give me only what you have in terms of what it is that we're talking about here. You know what I'm saying? So it's very strategic in terms of what he could deliver, what he could offer. I'm not going to get into questions about, you know, well, what is this? What is that? Theoretical at his point. I'm like, listen, what was the political and management system it took to develop these monuments here? And that's where the conversation
stood.
And
then you surround them with the real cats that say the real shit.
Right. Well, I'm going to tell you psychologically, his presence in the film made your shit look official.
Oh, man.
As far as like an official documentary on Kemet or on Egypt, whatever, you know, we know what the real names are. But because he's been in so many different documentaries, so many different programs that he's associated with being official. You know, he's the gatekeeper, you know, of, you know, Egyptian antiquity and all this type of shit. So to be able to have him in the film, it gives your film an air of credibility in the eyes of people that watch things like that. You know what I mean? I don't really care about his outlook on things because I know what kind of motherfucker he is. But at the same time, I was impressed that you got him in the film. You see what I'm saying? That let me know, like, yo, this shit is official. Like, they got my man Hawass up in this motherfucker. Like,
that we didn't even try to do it. It just stumbled. We stumbled across it. Real talk. It wasn't even something like, you know, was planned. And it
probably stuck his fucking.
Nah.
So you would have done it without him in general, right? What if you didn't find him? You would have still done it, right?
Well, and I didn't go looking for him.
So he heard about it and shit.
Nah. So what happened was,
you cannot do it without me. I have to show.
I am the number one. You must.
I have to show you this. I got to this.
And just doing the whole, you know, I guess politics around the film, I realized the world started becoming smaller and smaller. And I got a colleague in Egypt that I've been dealing with for about 20 years. And there's a gatekeeper in terms of who handles all the crews that come into Egypt to do these documentaries. There's one company, essentially. So this individual and I started talking, and come to find out, he's been a childhood friend with my friend in Egypt. So now he's dealing with me differently. So he was like, yo, Taaqiy, what do you want to do? He's like, anything we want. And I had somebody else in mind, another professor that's on a lot of docs. And he was like, nah, he's my best friend. And that's kind of how that happened. He was like, yo, here's this number, call him. You know what I mean? So we just kind of like, all right, well, what do you want me? He's like, how you want me to do it? And I realized for these people, in most of the cases, they're hired guns. They're not like, you know, when you really start to get deep into what the culture and civilization is, they really, you'll lose them. You know what I'm saying? You'll lose them.
You called him up, Godfrey, you're going to be Dr. Hawass. Okay.
Okay. This,
You called up and
it wasn't. It was shorter than that. It was like,
wait. Who is this? You want to talk? It's the pyramid. I tell you, I'm the historian. I know everything, I know everything. No black ever. Everybody Arabic.
And you said.
Who is Kufu? What is a Kufu? What is a Kufu? No. So what do you want? I want to be in the film.
He was like, yo, email me the questions. That was that.
Yeah, email me the questions. I scrape out all the black stuff. What I will do? No problem.
Not scrape out. I think you kind of answered my question already. I was gonna ask you what was your vetting process for the cast of characters and did you I don't want to use the word characters, I'm saying characters respectfully, but also like did you have an idea of like who you wanted? You was like, okay, I know I'm gonna need XYZ, because even the woman, she seemed like, she was like master expert. I'm like, okay, white lady, know your stuff. So I was like, did you have an idea who you wanted?
There was a white lady.
The original treatment. He's talking about Dr. Jacqueline Badalora.
The first lady.
Right, Dr. Jacqueline Badalora, who talks about the birth of a white nation. And I saw her on another. Matter of fact, Jay, I saw her on. She was on with Philippe, right? And he was interviewing her, and I was like, "Damn!" And she was breaking down, how the origin, how white people were created in a sense of the term white, and the politics that came around that shit. And I was like, "Damn," and that kind of fit in terms of what we were doing. So, for people that don't know, HAPI's a journey. It starts in Egypt. It's not about just maybe the first 20 minutes or so, or in Egypt, then it moves into West Africa, and it deals with the emergence of great West African civilization. Because after the kings of the Nile fell, people began to migrate again back to Central West Africa, and you see the emergence of West African civilization, and then we get into the foundation of Western civilization through the transatlantic slave trade. And after we come from there, we go to the West, early America. It brings us full circle to where you are now. So when we think of HAPI, we think 360 degrees of economic history, starting now, going back through time, coming back full circle. So have someone really get into the psychosis of white people in this country, especially from a white person. It
was amazing to watch. Like, just listen to her. Like, wow, she's like owning it. She understands it. Why are the rest of the race in denial or trying to be willfully ignorant? Like, she just laid it out, and it like you said, it was amazing coming from a white woman.
Yeah. So she's been around. She's been touring for a while, and doing her lectures and speeches. Anyone's interested, Dr. Jacqueline Badalora, strongly recommended.
Jacqueline Badalora, is she on like YouTube and stuff?
I'm sure. We actually have an interview with her on our HAPI Talks channel, the HAPI Film YouTube channel. You can go see it there. She's been, a lot of people have spoken to her. Really interesting. Really get into,
The one brother too, Umfundishi. Oh man, that dude's no joke.
Umfundishi, yes.
Is he from New York? He's from New York, right?
Yes, he lives in New York. I think he's actually might be from Jersey, but yeah.
Because cats like that documentary has so much, like it actually makes people revamp their shit. They think they knew about Egypt, but with this one was like, oh shit, I don't know shit. Like, because they breaking it. You guys, the way you are breaking shit down, I was like, I read a lot, like, in college and stuff, but this is like, you've gone, and I even went to that Egyptian museum in Cairo. I went to that museum. I went to that big museum they had. I went to that, and I was trying to look at as much shit as I could. And even this documentary has really got a lot of detail that I'm like, oh shit, Well,
Mfutishi is another one of my, definitely a mentor, teacher. I've been with him for several years, and I actually studied Metal Netcha with him.
Okay.
Studying the Metal Netcha, I'm definitely not no expert in that by far. It kind of opened my eyes to a lot of different things, and it really kind of unveiled, the mystery of a lot of the bullshit that they be telling us. So that's how I couldn't
There's the book, The Metal Netcha, right?
That's right. That's by Shechem Sheck and Ron Neffert.
Yes, I had that. a thick ass book too.
So let me ask you, what is your, what do you hope people get from this documentary? What is the lesson overall that you think, to be learned from this? How can people watch this and then apply it to their life today? You understand?
So 3 things. First thing come to my mind is one of the taglines of the film: economic empowerment through economic literacy. What I realized is, in the last part of the film deals with now contemporary things. It deals with solutions, and it deals also with the basic terminologies of economics and financial wellness. A lot of our people don't have an understanding of how money works. That's first and foremost. Give yourself an understanding of how economics work. Secondly, it's definitely inspirational in terms of just understanding who you are. If you did it before, you can do it again. And lastly, Professor Smalls kind of tied it up at the end, just talking about I kind of got into this earlier. What made the Nile so powerful was the fact that they took their ecology and they used that to basically fund what they wanted to do. We have to learn how to use what we have around us to make shit work. And that's what we're not doing. Everyone else coming to our neighborhoods, get money. We ain't doing that because we're not mastering our ecology. It's real simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit is not complicated. And
right.
You know what I'm saying? It's this our solution is right in front of us. We got to stop the bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yo,
So
it's amazing to me how the quote unquote, the Arab community can come into the hoods and dominate the market of chicken. Like, that is amazing.
Of chicken, right?
Yeah.
Yo, the shit is so absurd. It's so absurd when you think about it. But yeah, that's an example of it. And lastly, for me, when I look at it, I see HAPI as being a response or the answer to the film 13th. We know we got this prison, school to prison pipeline shit. We know we got all that. We know that's new slavery. But the reality is, how do we come out of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is our answer? And to me, HAPI is the response to that.
Right on. Sometimes you have to go back foundationally and get, you know what I mean? People
find your way back.
People think the history should know. History is what works for the future. That's real shit, though.
But it's funny you say that, because what the reality is with our people, going back to the systems analysis, you think of economics, politics, and culture. As Black people, we know the money is there. You know what I'm saying? Like the $1.3 trillion spending power we talk about, all this other stuff. I mean, to some degree, politically, we're there. What's the missing piece? The missing piece is the cultural imperative that, will dictate what you do with your money. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the knowledge itself comes in. And that's where a film like HAPI becomes so essential. You know what I'm saying? Because that gives you the knowledge itself and say, you know what? I'm not going to trick this money on dumb shit. I'm going to use it for something that's going to be able to build with. You know what I mean? So that's where we got to get back to the foundations. Real simple shit. Basics. Get back to basics. How they say that saying all the time? Back to basics.
Right.
And the basics is what's going to get us out of this shit.
Yeah.
Nothing complicated.
Right.
Let me ask you a question, Brother Grant. With everything that you want to see manifest with this film, do you think it's going to happen 100% before we as Black Americans or the African diaspora kind of improve our relations with Africans? I feel like there's such a divide with Africans and the African Americans, that is it possible for us to really, do what you would like to see done with this film without understanding, like, hey, we gotta refine that connection with the motherland to even understand the whole plight?
So that's a good question.
Is that like both? That's very multi-layered question, right?
But it's a simple answer. And I'm gonna go back to, something I said before, about culture. So one thing we have to understand as African Americans is colonialism is just as had a greater impact, more impact than slavery. And a lot of people on the continent may just be as ignorant as people who are here. So those people who have knowledge itself, whether continental Africans or Africans of the diaspora, are people who understand how important Pan-Africanism is. And there are a lot of people on the continent, Africans, a lot of Africans in the diaspora, whether here or the West Indies that have the understanding of that. So again, it's about knowledge of self. It goes back to that because a lot of people on the continent don't have no knowledge of self. You would think they do, but they don't, because colonialism just as a devastating impact, like I said, that slavery is. People been brainwashed. You got the white Jesus over there. All the shit that we fight against over here, they fighting with over there. People over there bleaching their skin, all that shit. You're like, damn, why are you doing this? But you understand, like, yo, this white man is real interested in how he weaved his way around this world.
Yeah.
And the one thing he did was basically took people's history away, and taking the history away or taking their gods away and giving them his God. And once you do that, you have everything else. Again, it's very simple. There's a lot of Africans on the continent that have the knowledge of self, who work with Africans here who have the same mindset. There's tremendous alliances that exist. People who have problems, people usually don't have no knowledge of self.
So there was no obstacles either when you were doing. Were there people trying to stop you? Would they give you? They say, well, what are you here for? Like, what are you actually? Did they just give you the freedom to film all you wanted? Were they, don't you know what I mean? Were they all up in what you were talking about? Well, what are you trying to do here? You know what I'm saying, right?
Well, sometimes people with academics, I realize they love the love. People not interested in their work very much. So when someone's called and say, hey, I want to talk to you about an excavation work you did, you're like, oh shit, yeah, you want to talk to me? And not even somebody like him. I'm talking about a lot of these other cats, people are really interested. Some of the countries were, well, not to say difficult, but with Ghana, because a large part of the film is in Ghana also. We had to get, just like Egypt, we had to get special permits to film there.
Right.
And, same thing, went down to the embassy here in New York and went talking to the people. And after a while, putting the information together, we finally got the permits really pretty much on the day of departure.
Nice.
So, it's, and I learned a lot doing this, just in terms of doing things, the correct way. We could have went near some guerrilla film and shit, but then we would have got bothered because we wouldn't have had the credentials.
Right.
Then they'd be like, nah, you can't do that. Right. But we did it the right way. We took our times. We had the right permits, the right people around us. And they was like, yo, wherever y'all want to go, because you're doing this the way, whatever. So, yeah, but because, it's funny. I tried doing this back in 2011 initially, not having any permits. And I ran into a lot of problems.
Right.
And somebody was like, yo, Taaqiy, this is how you got to do this. And I was like, okay. So when I'm thinking about doing this, we're going to do this the right way because we want to make sure this shit is done right.
Right. Cool. So where would a beginner start? Like a person who just is watching HAPI and they're like, wow, I don't really know a lot of shit. If they were like, what book can I read to get me started? Because everybody's so spitting so much knowledge. You're like, oh damn, what could a person do? Because I know a lot of people would ask me, yo, Godfrey, what should I start reading? I'm like,
everybody woke up this year.
Yeah.
Or so trying to wake up.
If somebody asks you, Taaqiy, like, yo, so what can I start off as far as this Egyptian knowledge? What book is a good start? Anything by Taaqiy Diop, or what do we do?
Well, everything in a sense comes through kind of Diop. A lot of the scholars we have here always, give their respect to Diop in terms of laying the foundation for the modern day scholarship. I would say first thing the book come to my mind is Nile Valley Contributions to Western Civilization.
Say it again.
Nile Valley Contributions to Western Civilization by Anthony Browder. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. I would say Destruction of Black Civilization, Chancellor Williams,
Stolen Legacy.
The Stolen Legacy, George G. James. You know what I mean? Those books kind of like really kind of permeate in my mind in terms of like books like, you really want to get started, particularly Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization. Because that's the way Anthony Browder wrote that book was pretty much like, I think, like how that saying goes, a child can understand. You know what I mean? It was really plain. The information in there is kind of like, you just give it to a person, let them start reading. They're like, okay, they've had to connect some dots, but after a while, they're like, I'm feeling this.
Because a lot of times when people read, because when you meet them brothers, like there's sometimes the brothers in Harlem, the brothers selling oils, and they stop you and they break it down. They just say, you don't understand the Hamites came from the Chaldean mountains, see? And then from that, the Chiites and the Chaldeans, brother. You're like, oh what? It's like, it's like, and then, no, that was the Memamites, brother. That was the Memamites who took into the Hamites and the Semites. That's where Semitism, you're like, man, what book is this motherfucker?
Now the Hadiplites.
That sounds like the woke barbershop.
And that was the electrolytes, because they had lights with the electrolytes. And then the shy lights came, they were
the shy lights. That's the woke barbershop. Wait, hold up. Let me ask you a question, Brother Taaqiy. Stop, not use the shy lights. I'm done with you, Godfrey. Listen. Okay, so I'm a big history buff, right? I love watching nonfiction, like historical series and things like that. I always see you'll always find like a series about Rome or, the Tudors and Henry VIII. You'll be really hard pressed to find like an Egyptian series. Is that something that you would be interested in doing? I would love to see that. I would love to see a 1-season, 2-season series about like Nefertiti's life, or would you do something like that?
Absolutely. There are a lot of.
If you did it, you need me to do the voiceover. Trust me. That's the only way it's gonna be. Go ahead.
And
can I be in it, please?
So
I want to do the voiceover.
I just want to go back to something Jay just said a second ago about the voiceover. So because y'all were asking a lot about the people and how we came across some of the cast members. That we had the core people in the beginning, people who was on my list. But as we started to move along, people started to come in, and it came in a way I call it divine, because the way the shit just happened. So in your trailer, in the trailer there, the early part is an Ifa festival on the beach of Far Rockaway. And I'm sitting there after that, we're talking to them, and there's a sister there, and I'm like, damn, you look familiar. I'm like, where do I know you from? And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, damn, this is fucking Fat Annie from what's that shit called? What's that Netflix series? The one with the hip hop joint.
Yeah.
The down one.
Get down. Right.
Oh.
So that's the narrator in the film is Fat Annie from the Get Down.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lilius White. She had one little Tony Award. She's been on like you, Jay, on a lot of Law and Orders and things like that. She's been doing a lot of different things. But she's also an Ifa priestess, and we started talking, and she was like, "Absolutely, I want to be a part of it."
Mm.
You know what I mean? So we wrote it up, took it to the studio, and that's how the narration happened.
Dope.
Okay.
There is an animation series about Black Egypt. Like there is, but they won't let you see it. Someone sent me. It's an animation like Disney. It's like dope, and it has pharaohs. He's black, but they're not. They're trying to ban it.
Of course they are.
Yeah. It's like black.
Of course they would. Yeah, of course they would ban it.
Yeah, and they're like, we won't be having that.
Of course they would have banned it.
Yeah.
I always
keep me in mind for the future. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny, and I'm gonna tell you a story about something with you, Jamal, we was doing years ago back in 2011. I don't know if you remember this or was even apprised to the situation. I was putting together back then, right before what they call the Arab Spring happened, the first one, a music festival. I was trying to coordinate a music festival in Egypt, and Brand Nubian was a part of it. You know what I'm saying? And Brand Nubian and some other people was a part of it. We was coordinated right after the first uprising happened, but the second one happened, and it didn't manifest at that time. But we were planning to take you to Egypt in 2011, and I had information. We was working it through.
Wow, that would have been like super dope.
Man,
you
know what I mean? So those things are still, those ideas are still there, and something that maybe we can dust off and bring out, and do it in the future.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm seeing a Kemet Godcast. A Godcast in Kemet, I'm telling you.
Hey.
Let's
get it.
Music / comedy show. Uh-oh.
Look out. Look out.
I want to see it. I would love to see a series. That would be great.
So listen, hang on real quick. If you're just joining us, people in the chat, we're here talking to Taaqiy Grant. He is the director of the film HAPI, independent documentary, basically about Black economics, and how we can learn from what we did in the past and apply it to what we need to do in the future. So you've been showing the film different places. I know this has been an expense to put this together, and now it's time to try to, get some of that back. It's time for people to come support something like this.
Right.
Like, we always want things for free all the time, but it's not about that. Like we have to, you know what I mean? We have to support the type of media, especially that we want to see. You know what I mean?
Real rap.
So
has it been making the rounds? Like, what is it? The Doc NYC 2020 channel, or like even Newark has a international film festival, the Sundance. I mean, I know I know that's your goal, but have you been successful in any of all of those flights?
Yeah, with the COVID, we had a business model.
Oh, damn, COVID, damn.
we had a business model right before the pandemic. And matter of fact, we were going to open up in the Schaumburg in New York City. That was going to be our opener. And after the Schaumburg, we were going to do our theatrical tour throughout the world, essentially. And following that, film festivals, other things. Film festivals are a little funny. Generally, they don't like you to submit a film that you've already screened. So,
gotcha.
But one thing we realize is that as Black people, and I'm gonna go back to this, there's so much power and influence in our community. So what we've been doing is building up our grassroots following. And it's been, by and large, people have, anyone who watched the film loves it. I'm just gonna say that. I mean, anybody ever seen the film like, damn, I ain't like this shit. People like, and I'm not just saying it because we made it, but people fucks with HAPI. They really, really enjoy the film because they can see it's a labor of love. They see that, a lot of work went into it. And they're like, damn, this is something
well done. It's just well done. It's just
and
well done.
For me, that was one of the things that inspired me to do it. I was like, I want Black people to take ownership of it and own the film and be like, we did this shit. Not Taaqiy or, Zeta, Felicia, whoever else who was a part of all the producers or whatever like that. But this is something that we did. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's a small step, but we're going to push the bar higher and higher next time. To go back to Rod Digger's question, absolutely. We got to keep pushing that bar higher. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We got to keep pushing it further and further and further. One thing I realized, just talking about, there's some people like yourself who love hardcore docs about ancient Kemet, but there's a large part of our population that don't. You know what I mean? So that's why we kind of had to mix it in with other things to bring people in together. Like, listen, it's not just about this. It's about a collective of Black consciousness.
Right.
But I would love to do something like that, bringing the audience in like, this is a film that will really set the story right, in terms of ancient Egypt. You know what I mean? So, yeah, HAPI, it's definitely something, like I said, going through the, the grassroots thing, building up the following. We just, our podcast just got over the 10K. No, it's not like nowhere, what y'all guys are doing, but, we're getting there. HAPIfilm.com, HAPIfilm.com is the website. But, on all the different YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, definitely help people go out, follow the channels, subscribe, you know what I mean? Every week, now HAPI Talks, we're bringing in another legend to talk about, just different issues, you know what I mean? So we want to keep it back. We want to bring things back to where they once was, back to basics, you know what I mean? Right. Back to first world, back to the African portrait theater. That goes back to one of your earlier questions, like what was the foundation? I was fortunate to grow up in an environment or a community where we had those type of centers. And a close friend of mine, his pops, was the director of the African Portrait Theater, out in Queens. So being in an African Portrait Theater, that's the first time, I saw Dr. Ben, saw Dr. Jeffries, saw Milana Karenga, Francis Small. So those are, the legends I was privy to as a child, as a young kid, going there. You know what I mean? So just being in that environment, it was only likely that we were going in this direction.
We were doing.
I think I just came up with the series in my head.
We were doing our show at the Black Lady Theater in Brooklyn. So
right. Yeah. You know what I mean? So those are the, Those are the spots. The Black, the Black Lady Theater in Brooklyn. the Slave Theater, you know what I'm saying, First World in Harlem, you know what I'm saying, African Poetry Theater. You know, the community was, you know what I'm saying, it was different back then. It was stronger, you know what I mean? But we got to bring those institutions back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what HAPI Talks is doing it virtually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're bringing those people in. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you know, we had you and Rizza Islam on, but, you know, we bringing everybody in, you know, and people are like, damn, you know, we're bringing it back to how shit should be. That's kind of the problem where we kind of got off kind of skewed right now. You know what I'm saying? We got to get back to just listening to those elders.
The doctor, you said Dr. Ben, and there's a book. It said someone brought it up in the chat. Black Man of the Nile and His Family.
Yes.
Yeah. So I wanted to make sure because that's what you know, Dr. Ben.
Yes.
You
Now
know.
let's talk about December.
Joseph Ben. About Johannes. Sorry. Go ahead.
December 26th, you're having a screening, yes?
Yes, sir.
And now, people in the chat right now, there's a link in the description where you can buy tickets.
Yeah.
For the screening. On December 26th, what exactly is going down? How you having a discussion / screen?
All right. So 7:00, the film, they can watch the film. The film is actually 2 hours and 12 minutes. That's the runtime. After the film,
trying to say it was 3 or 4 hours.
I said it was like between 3 and 4 hours. I don't know. It seemed like it was it just seemed like a lot of information. It was a lot. Like it was almost like a whole history lesson, and then not almost. It's like a whole history lesson, African Egyptian history, and then the professor, she gave a lovely, you know, diatribe of just their existence, and then it went to economics. I swear, I'm sorry. I thought it was like at least 3 hours long. It was great though. It was great though.
You got to wait for the second hour to see the God. I don't appear until the second hour of the film. See, they make you wait for the good shit.
And you know what's funny? And I really wish I was there during your interview because we would have been able to do a little bit different. You know, that's one of the ones I didn't go to. But when I looked at it, I was like, I got to get something out of this. And I was like, okay, we're going to make this work. Somehow we'll make it work. And we made it work.
No, you got me on speed dial, so it's all good now. Now you know what I mean?
Right. So
we good.
After the film is over, the good shit happens when we have our panel discussion. And, you know, we have about 30 people in the film, but not all 30 people on the panel. And we'll come up with we'll have a panel discussion to be moderated. And the panel discussion is only for ticket holders. Ticket holders only are part of the panel discussion afterwards. We don't post it. We don't share it. We don't do anything like that. Right. That is the discussion in-house. And that's where the real jewels are dropped. You know what I'm saying? In that panel discussion, because you get an opportunity to interact with a lot of the cast members, some of the elders in there, and they be really dropping it.
Talk about some of the elders just so they know when they purchase their ticket, be able to interact with elders such as.
So Dr. Leonard Jeffries, Professor Small. I really should have started with the ancestor recently. Someone who just recently transitioned a few months ago, Dr. Patricia Newton. Great colleague, great friend, great mentor, and you know, she made that transition a couple months ago, and she's dearly missed. But she's in the film. Dr. Wade Nobles, another tremendous giant, and they kind of, what we wanted to do was just use Nile Valley concepts in a way of complementary aspects. So she's being a psychiatrist and Dr. Nobles a psychologist. So we had it in terms of them just psychoanalyzing, what goes on in this community. Dr. Julianne Malveaux is an economist.
Malveaux,
right. On the other side of her, Dr. Boyce Watkins. Who's a complementary aspect of
the show. He's been on the show.
Right. So we just had him recently on HAPI Talks. We had to bring him in.
He's the real deal, right? Because when I first started, I was like, oh man, this dude. About 3 years ago, I was like, is this dude real? I said, okay. I at first I was like rubbing my chin against that Boyce Watkins. Is he real a financial dude? Blah blah blah.
No, he knows his financial shit. But one thing I was impressed about, I was actually in Atlanta. I was having a hard time getting in contact with him just to do what we've been doing recently. And he was at the Foundation of Black American Conference. And I went just to kind of like connect with some people. And I saw him and I was like, damn, I was impressed because after the conference was over hours, he still talking to cats. I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Most people are like, yo, fuck it. At this point, I'm breaking out. You know, hours later, he's still there holding court, you know. And anybody who does that, I was like, you know, I take my hat off to you, because at this point, I'd be like, yo, I'll see y'all later. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna be speaking for hours and then talk to people afterwards. So, you know, kudos to him for that. I definitely, you know, got a lot of respect from him behind that. So he's in it. We mentioned Dr. Jacqueline Badalora, Dr. Solange Ashby,
all these
Jamal,
doctors, man. See?
Right. My man, the Saw Imhotep, Dr. Rosalind Jeffries.
Come on, this is what made you got me feeling all. Wow, yeah, you got me jazzed.
Dr. Rosalind Jeffries.
Sidebar, I'm still fantasizing my series. Yeah, I got it in my head. Look, I'm telling you, it can be a chronicle of all of the great pharaohs and how they got their magic powers from the Nile. Season 1, we can start with like Tutankhamun, and then the finale will be like the next young pharaoh as a kid playing by the Nile, and we like, the cliffhanger is, we know what he about to do. He about to play in the water or something. And next season 2, here he come. Watch. I got this. We gonna talk.
Is this a dramatic series?
No, we can talk. Definitely, we definitely can talk about that.
Is this a documentary or a dramatic series?
No, I'm talking about a dramatic series. I said, no, a dramatic series. No, not just documentary, but dramatic series.
Got you. Okay.
And you know what? You know something, Digga? One of the things that impressed me, what our ancestors on the Nile, was their ability to document and record their history, their legacy, and not just from a pharaonic perspective, but the common people would write down information just about, love stories. They would trial transcripts. All that stuff still exists. So we don't have to look very far to actually make up a narrative, in terms of just a storyline, because the storyline is already there.
Right.
It doesn't exist for us. There's a 1,000,001 series about Queen Elizabeth and the Tudors and Anne Boleyn and Marie Antoinette. It's like, where are the African kings and queens and princesses? Like, I want to see their stories manifested into a dramatic series. That's my personal thing that I want to see.
Without white people or olive skinned people taking the place of the main characters.
No, we can't have that. We can't have that. And you know what? You're right.
I want to see braids and
But see, it's so funny because you go to a museum, and Godfrey can attest to this. You'll see the braids.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? You'll see the braids. You know what I'm saying? You'll see the locks. You'll see the braids. You'll see it all.
Yeah.
And it's something we was doing 5,000 years ago.
Oof, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like all that's there. That's why we don't debate race. You know what I'm saying? We don't. I'm not fucking arguing with you about that. Especially not to a non-African person. I'm just not going to do that.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? I'm just not going to do that. It was a waste of time.
They must hate that shit when they excavate and they go in and go, damn, this is black too? Fuck. Get the blade. Get the sandblaster. God damn it, everyone's done.
Yeah, but but listen,
so mad.
They can. It's kind of like it's past that point already. They already knew what it was. They shooting the noses off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they knew what it was. They shooting the noses off.
Yeah.
So it's something like But the best thing about just growing back to Kemet, just connect it with other African kingdoms and civilizations, and that's not very hard because you can see the similarities. You can see the language. You can see the culture, the customs, everything. You can see it. It's not like you got to search. It's right there. It's right in your face.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And one of the things we talked about in the film, I think some of this may be kind of overlooked the first time. People are thinking about HAPI. You got to watch it a few times because there's so much information in there.
It's like a good book. It's like a good book.
Right. So there's something in there for me the first time seeing it, and it's an artifact that was found back in I believe in the 60s. It's called the Kustul incense burner. Kustul is a place in Egypt where they found these different artifacts, and one of them was an incense burner. And this incense burner had all what they refer to as iconography of kingship or symbols of ancient Egypt prior to Egypt existing. But this is in a place that they refer to today as Nubia. So you see the origins of the civilization begin in the South. That object is actually on display in Chicago. You know what I'm saying, Godfrey, at the University of Chicago Oriental Institute. So Dr. Bruce Williams is in the film, is actually one of the people that found it.
Wow.
And it did the work. So we had the opportunity to put him in the film just talking about the incense burner. Now, the importance here is it's like, damn, here you have all of the important tenets of ancient Egyptian society, the pharaoh or the king, the Horus motif, the palace facade, all these different symbols on this incense burner prior to what we refer to as dynastic Egypt. So giving credence that these black people in the South was the one who developed this civilization. So we don't, like I said, we don't even, there's so many things in the film subtle that's telling them, you know what I mean? Like we know, but we're not going to like, why this film is for our people, that they need to see this for themselves and understand what it is. And Digger, you're absolutely 100% correct. To put something together like that would be monumental. It would take a hell of an undertaking in terms of, financing it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? So, but I would definitely be interested in doing something like that. Like, so we don't have to...
I'll put a Tyler Perry to task to her, like, hey, you love telling black stories so much. How about we divert from the preacher and the abused black woman for a minute, and let's explore some African history.
He's gonna have Medea as a pharaoh.
Yeah, let's shy away. Can you use some of that billion? Let's shy away from Medea for a minute and get to some real blackness.
Years ago, and I know
Oprah.
There was talks of Will Smith doing a film on Taharka. And I don't know where that went, but I remember like maybe 10 years ago, there was some talks about that. There's been talks about doing these types of films. I know I've heard Hannibal's name mentioned, certain other, people, but there've been people who are saying like, we want to actually do something like that. So it's out there. It's in the ethers.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it's something that happens sooner than later.
Yeah. I'm
not mad at Nia Long being Nefertiti, Zendaya being, coming along being the president. I guess they would cast it with whoever they would need to cast it to feel like it would sell or draw in the viewership, long as it's long as we have a say in who gets casted.
Absolutely. And
no Kylie Jenner, none of them. y'all can't be Cleopatra now.
Nah, right. Give a fuck how many followers you got.
Right.
Before we be out, I want to play the trailer one more time in case you weren't here in the beginning. Let's just play the trailer one more time, and then we're gonna give the information of where they can cop tickets. It's in the description, but we're gonna give them one more time about September 26th. So here we go. Happy trailer.
HAPI is the name of the water which gives life. It is a principle of life-giving.
The Nile was the source of Egypt. The Nile was the life for the ancient Egyptian. The Nile was sacred and the most important element for the unification of the two lands, Upper and Lower.
In our effort to understand or to search the role of economic play in the development of civilization, we came here to modern-day El Kab, or ancient Nekheb, and we're here at a tomb by a man known as Subignac.
Initially, people traded, and they traded goods and services, and when they didn't have necessarily the things that they wanted to trade, they developed a currency, cowrie shells on the African continent, other tokens.
Economics first starts with the relationship.
My hair is excited.
West Africa does have a direct link to the HAPI Valley. And we know that linguistically, first of all, starting with the work of Dr. Diop, we see that many West African languages are related to Medu Neter.
We are one family. We are one people. We go forward together as one people. We are each other's strength. We are each other's hope. We have no other hope nor strength outside of Almighty God and ourselves. So when we look around at each other, we should see ourselves in the faces of each other.
All right. Come on.
Oh, did we lose? Oh, here we go.
There you go. That's the trailer. Taaqiy, you're frozen. Taaqiy.
You know that guy Whack 100?
Yeah, I seen the video.
Man, that was a beautiful left. Boom!
He caught him real quick.
Wow!
What happened?
What happened? Two white
Two
boys
skinheads tried to attack him.
like that. And yo,
Really?
And Whack gave that one the business.
him, yeah, and he fucking
cracked his whole thing. It was awesome.
Knocked him real quick, and his fucking that motherfucker
Dude,
no more problems.
He hit him with the left, backing up like.
Wait. Hold up. Tried to attack him where? Why?
Parking lot,
just
like
racist.
that.
Just
Hang
hold on. I'm
Okay.
gonna show you. Let me
Taaqiy,
show you. Oh, I was gonna show you that. It's crazy. It's like right here. Wait.
The screen share.
Wait.
Who's recording that? Wow.
Somebody, he already knocked the other kid out, though. He already knocked the other kid down. But they're gonna show him with his bloody eye, the other dude.
Those skinheads, those dudes be some whack. They whack, dude.
Oh wow. I'll find it.
Oh, your sound is. Damn.
Taaqiy, you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
He should have been like, and that's Renee Robinson.
Here we go.
So listen, again, December 26th. We have a link in the description. Now, what I'm going to do is I usually make these videos private afterwards and chop them up and all that. I'm going to leave this video up. I'm going to leave this video live so that people can just watch this, see the discussion and
start buying tickets.
And the tickets, yeah, the ticket sales can come through this link right here. We're going to just leave this link live and direct. So if you want to see the film, the HAPI film, and I'm telling you, on some Siskel and Ebert shit, thumbs up. Do we all give it a does it get a Yanadameen thumbs up? Godfrey.
Yeah.
3 thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Okay. So 3 thumbs up, okay? In this motherfucker for the HAPI film. And we don't just give out thumbs up like that.
Nope.
On just anything, okay? Our thumbs up is like the mics and the source back in the days when
when
it really meant something. So if we're giving you a thumbs up, that means it's a great piece of work. So I encourage y'all, click that link, get those tickets, because it will be well worth your while. We need to practice HAPI economics. And if you don't know, you're not going to be able to do so. So please get yourself in the know. That's what we do here on this B1 channel. And
that's right. All right, Taaqiy, you got the historians. I'm gonna holler at Ice Cube. We gonna do this.
Nah, definitely we can do it. Listen, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed y'all. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Dope.
No, thank you.
Definitely have a pleasure.
Thanks, man.
Definitely give a shout out to everyone in the audience, those who came out to hang with us tonight, just kind of late, appreciate it. Those people want to come over, check out HAPI Film, what I'm saying, on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and come see our HAPI Talks programs, you know what I mean? They'll enjoy those.
Absolutely, brother. You always welcome to come up here, promote, come on.
All right, appreciate it. I like y'all family, so appreciate y'all. Definitely.
Peace.
No doubt. Peace.
Taaqiy Grant, everybody. HAPI Films. Go check that out. ASAP.
Hotep.
Peace.
Peace.
Happy films. Happy birthday. Hell.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Look at that. Still my birthday.
It's your birthday weekend.
Okay.
That's right.
Now, if you want to be generous and send Digger some birthday love, there goes her that's her Cash App right there.
Bars for bread.
Bars for bread.
I was about to say, where's my harps? Yeah.
Bars for bread. There you go.
Bars for
Yay! Y'all can super chat me some money, Jamal. I want my super chat cut.
Go ahead.
Now, Jamal been hooking me up. I ain't even mad. I ain't even mad at you, bro. Thank you, Brother Jay.
Come on. We got to, you know what I mean? We got to practice happy economics. We got to spread
That's right.
around. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, yo, did you see that? Did you see that nurse that collapsed after taking the vaccine?
This motherfucker, Godfrey.
What you say?
Oh, wait a minute. Forget the nurse that collapsed. I done seen about 3-4 headlines that had me clutching my pearl since that hoe passed out. So how about a Texas hospital got busted giving fake vaccination shots?
Nothing in it.
You know, putting on a show for the news. Come to find out it was a fake shot.
Yeah, and Mike Pence's punk ass. I'm gonna take it. Fuck
out of here.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was fake. And hang on. And there's a hospital in Chicago that suspended giving vaccinations to their workers because everybody that they was giving a shot to is having adverse reactions. So
yeah, this shit is bullshit. They need to fucking cut the bullshit out.
There's another report of another hospital where they wanted the nurses and stuff to take pictures of them getting the shot, not really getting a shot, but just acting like they're getting the shot. Put it on their social media that they can try to promote this shit like it's real. You know what I'm saying?
They're trying to kill us.
Full of shit. Like they're so full of shit, and we just sit here and just listen to their shit and act like it's fucking.
This is where I knew Dr. Fauci was so full of shit. He goes, guys, a black woman created the vaccine.
Right.
What the fuck did you just say? Oh, now you want to talk about black people inventing shit. But we ain't going to talk about the ones we did in the 1800s and all the shit we've been talking about. Right. But you want to talk about the vaccine was invented by a black woman. You motherfuck boy. Fuck out of here with that. You a fuck boy. Dr. Fauci should be punched and beaten in his fucking face. This motherfucker said,
okay. We no violence on my birthday. It's my birthday. We know. We're not having this discussion on my birthday weekend. We're gonna come back to this shit next week.
No, we're not coming back next week because they're killing people this week.
Right.
So now, like I was saying,
and they're trying to convince you to take a shot.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. He literally said that a black woman
arrived in New York and all that type of shit. And they want you to take it.
Yeah,
but we had this discussion already. We're not taking it, and we gonna do for self.
We gotta stay strong.
And we got Diggers daycare for the kids that gotta get homeschooled.
Huh?
I said, and we got Diggers daycare for the kids that gotta get homeschooled. Right. Just make sure you teach your kids some fucking manners when they get here, because I will fuck their asses up. Your kid will be in a headlock over here if they're running around like they ain't got no damn sense.
Kids there, because don't vaccinate your kids.
Don't send your vaccinated kids here. Well, no, the vaccinated kids can go to school. They gonna go to public school. They gonna go to PS 31.
You know. Fuck, man.
Well, listen, man. It's been another good one. Everybody for coming through. Make sure y'all click those like buttons. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell. And click all so that you make sure you get notifications every time we go live, every time an episode drops. We got more episodes dropping tomorrow and every day thereafter. This episode is we're gonna keep this live. This is not gonna be private. So feel free to share this, like it, you know what I mean? Do whatever you got to do. But most importantly, make sure you click that link in the description and you go and get you a virtual ticket to the screening on December 26th, where you'll be able to talk to people like Dr. Jeffries, Professor Smalls, and many other great scholars of our community. We thank you for joining us once again.
Can we promote something?
Go ahead. Come on?
Oh man, speaking of virtual, right now I'm in Toledo at the Toledo Funny Bone, right? But December 30th, I have a virtual comedy show. All right. And it's December 30th, 9 p.m. Eastern, virtual. That means you don't have to go anywhere. It's called nowherecomedyclub.com. 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 $15 tickets left. I've sold 365. I want to get to 500 by December 30th. And you all hear it here now. You can watch it in the comfort of your own home, on your phone or your computer, December 30th. All right. And if you're in Cincinnati on the 26th and 27th after Christmas, Cincinnati Funny Bone also. And New Year's, I will be in Cleveland at the Cleveland Improv from December 31st to January 3rd. I'll be in Steve Harvey land, everybody. Hell, better come through. Yeah.
Hell. You never know what's going to happen.
Are you performing by yourself, Godfrey?
What?
The nowhere.com. Is it a lineup or is it just you?
It's a host, me, a host, a middle, and then me.
Okay.
So it'll be 3 comedians. This is my 3rd time doing it. And yeah, man, it's like I'm just in my living room yapping for an hour, telling jokes. Because it's cool because a lot of comedy clubs aren't functioning, and we're trying to do
and neither are venues.
Right. You got to use the virtual world.
Venues.
So people got to use the virtual world, and it is what it is. And we all should recognize at least you're getting something. Everybody's doing something.
I had 365 tickets sold. Alexa, what's 365 times 15?
365 times 15.
Alexa? What's 365 times 15?
Alexa don't know math.
365 times 15 is 5,475.
That ain't bad for a night in your living room. You gone.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So 365 and $15 tickets are left. The VIPs are sold out and the early birds are sold out. And $15, December 30, let's get down.
Let's get down.
Let's get down. You know how I do. You all see me on the live every night. I'm going to do my live right after this. I just did 2 hours of comedy today. I did another hour of this, and then I'm going to do another 2 hours of my live.
All right.
We got
putting in that work.
We did about an hour and 43.
Hour 43. So I've been yapping.
I'm about to say we an hour 43 in right here.
I've been yapping all day, but this is what we got to do. We have no choice. You got to put that work in this. We have no choice.
People.
I don't see no cha-ching on my damn Cash App notifications. Put that bars for bread back up on the screen so the people, in case y'all fucking phones is foggy and in case your connection broke up for a minute. There you go. It's my fucking birthday.
1-800 bars for bread.
Bars for bread.
1-800 bars for bread. Again, your Cash App now. 1-800 bars for bread. 1-800 bars for bread. 1-800 bars for bread. Again, your Cash App now.
See, I'm trying to be a upstanding woman and not resort to OnlyFans to make money in these pandemic streets.
Oh my God!
Hey,
Have a fine, refined sister out here.
Don't you threaten them with a good time.
Don't I threaten it?
You got a bunch
it's some nasty folks out here.
You like, Digger got an OnlyFans? Say word.
You got what's his name? You got Lakeith Stansfield out here moaning on Clubhouse and shit. Yo, it's nasty out here, man.
Hold on. We trying to get God.
Hold up. I see some Cash App notifications. I see the little dollar sign going across the screen. Come on. Keep it going.
1-800 bars for bread.
1-800 bars for bread. 1-800
bars for bread. And give that Cash App now.
Come on. We'll Harlem Shake for Cash App. Oh, man.
Somebody's daughter.
Jennings said, my daughter is your birthday twin. Her born day is 12/18/01. Happy birthday. Her name is Lex. Please wish her happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Lex. Hey.
From all of us at the Godcast.
From all of us to you, Lex.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna tell you, I got a great birthday song. It's by Solomon Burke. His version is kind of the shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, it's so good. I'm like, everybody does the Stevie Wonder thing, which was meant for Dr. King, and sometimes they do the one where it's the Beatles. It's today's your birthday, but nah, Solomon Burke.
Don't play no music right now. Don't you?
I ain't playing shit.
Oh, okay.
I'm about to say we have to take it down, right?
Cancel them.
We'll get a copyright strike like a motherfucker.
Cancel. Oh yeah, they've been shutting down everything, boy.
Man, I played a song with me that I produced for Just Ice the other night. I'm glad I played it at the end though. Immediately got a copyright strike. I mean, I didn't even turn fucking shit off. And a copyright strike got sent to the motherfucking email.
What?
Wow.
It's just it being it's in the system. If
it's so stupid, it's so dumb.
It automatically registers. It's not like
there's a senator, Senator Tillis or something that's trying to make it like felony jail time for playing copywritten music during streams.
What is wrong with white folk? These white motherfuckers, man.
I think it's the record labels not making money right now, putting the pressure on politicians to like, these artists are capitalizing off the internet with with the music that they made that we really own. So we gotta penalize them for that. That's really what's happening.
White boys panicking, fuckers. God damn.
If you had a PayPal, you make more money. Oh, I'm like, you don't know? We got PayPal.
Yeah, they'll tell you and then they don't send you nothing.
Right. Well, listen. We about to be out.
Yeah.
Word. I gotta get back to my birthday turn up.
We appreciate y'all coming through. Once again, for Yanadameen Godcast, I'm Lord Jamal.
I'm Digger.
I'm Godfrey.
Hey!
It's my fucking birthday.